Hello, dear friends. Welcome to our daily vlog. And we are here again, drinking our coffee and tea at our favorite spot, Café La Notte. It's a very chilly day, it's windy.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, it is morning. It's 10:20 a.m. Thursday. And today we're going to discuss.
Discussed. Today we're going to discuss the very important topic. It's about gay and transgender and all these new stuff. The new trends to be gay, not gay, whatever you decide to call yourself. That's a big topic. Yeah, you can say something.
Yeah. Yesterday I was speaking to my daughter and we were discussing a person I know, and unfortunately I don't know what this person prefer to be, yes, how he or she would like to be addressed, like he, she, or they. And my daughter told me, Mom, there's a simple question you should have asked this person. What's your pronoun, or something like that? If the person prefer to be addressed as they, then it's politically correct to address to this person as they or them. If it's a male and he wants you to call him her, then it's better to call him her. And I honestly don't have any problem with that. I can call you whatever you prefer to be called.
Well, I have big problem with that. There was a discussion recently, and that's why Jordan Peterson became very, very famous, not only for his 12 rules of life, but also for this topic. It's a law now. It's a law that it's whatever, chapter 16 or whatever, the law 16, whatever. And in this law, generally, the lawmakers are trying to push people. They invented bunch of different names, like 16 or 90, whatever, different names for gender. They invented actually words to refer to other people that wants to call themselves gender different people. Let's say you are a male or female and now it's she or they. So this is what you're talking about this they.
So why do you have a problem with that?
Well, I have a problem with that because this is not my opinion. I'm going to mention the opinion of Jordan Peterson, who said this. Nobody should be forcing me by law to refer someone as they see themselves. So now that's like kind of freedom of speech situation. For example, I give you an example. If you don't want to be any longer a female, and you say, okay, I want to be calling me they, which means they whatever they have like bunch of names. I don't know the names, but let's say they come up with some new name. It's a new word. So literally, I'm supposed to call you on this name, and I don't have problem calling you this name. The problem comes here when I do not call you by this name. You have by the law, you have tools to sue me, and that is a big problem. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because you can tell me, let's say this is a working environment, and you go tomorrow at your workplace and you say to your colleagues, hey, listen, I'm no longer she or Maria, I'm Z, for whatever, it's Z. Okay, let's say this is the, and all you guys should call me Z. And me, let's say I'm your colleague, and I say, what the hell is that? I don't want to call you Z. I see you, your mother given name is Maria, or whatever family name is Maria, but I don't call you Z. And then I'm going to have legal problem on that. Do you understand the situation? That is a big problem.
Don't think it's a problem. If you go to work now and your name is Ivan, and some people don't want to call you Ivan, they decided to call you a chair or a dam or, I don't know, a lamp. Hey lamp, how's it going? I'm not a lamp, I'm Ivan. Ah, but you see, I think you're a lamp. Would you be pleased?
That is not, you don't understand the seriousity of the problem. That's not what you're gonna call me. You can call me whatever, like shit face. No problem with that. The problem becomes that now if you don't call me that, I can take legal actions against you.
No, which is kind of makes sense. I don't want to be called a chair if I'm not a chair, if I don't see myself as a chair. What's wrong with that? Is it that difficult to call me Z?
Yeah, of course it's difficult to call you Z.
Hey,
Why should I call you Z? Just because you decided to call you Z and now you have the law on your side. That's a big problem. That is a big problem because people will decide to call themselves whatever. I want to call myself the king of the universe or the king of New York. So now if you don't call me that, that's going to be a problem for you. Legal problem. That may cause you to be fired, or I can publicly shame you because you don't call me what I decided to be called. That's a big problem. Now, the problem is not between me and you. It's a problem because the law comes between us. It's the same. It is practically the same like the marriage. You know, like some people say marriage it's a bullshit. There is a big truth in marriage. It's a bullshit statement because marriage traditionally used to be two people get together and they decide to go in life forever. But now it's no longer like this. Now it's a third party. I said this in previous videos. Now it's not just me and you, we're gonna get married. Now it's the state as well involved in our marriage. And then tomorrow, for some reason, we are no longer in love, and we say, hey, listen, our marriage doesn't work, let's go apart. Now the state comes and say, wait a minute, you cannot do that. You have to pay him or she has to pay you X amount of money, and the state of course will take their cut, and that is totally unfair. So the same situation comes now when the law is inserting itself into the relationship of people. I don't want the law to dictate how should I be calling people, and I don't want to be threatened by the law if I don't refer them certain names. Do you understand where the problem is?
But it's a simple human respect. If someone wants to be called a certain way, people, guess what? People are they're not tolerant.
That's right. I don't need, it's a common sense, it's a person respect. And the law should not go into the area of the common sense things, you know, like we know this is a coffee shop, we know this is a tea, we know this is a microphone. These are common sense things. I don't want.
This is common sense for you.
It's common sense for everybody.
No,
Everybody
it's not.
knows that this is a coffee cup, okay? I don't want some law to come and to tell me, hey, if the coffee cup decides not to be called coffee cup, you are lawfully obligated to call the coffee cup. You know, I can come up with any names. I don't want the law to be interfering with this like very common sense things. So now this is a woman. She looks like a woman. It is a woman. Okay, this guy it has a penis. Don't call him she. Okay, I have problem with that because the reality of is all this where all this comes through. I will tell you where all this comes through. All this comes through like this. It's not a miracle for me that 13 years old will be confused about their sexuality. They don't know good. Why they don't know good? Because simple biology will dictate that there are certain things, and because people are not educated on this, they will suffer in the future. This is how it's going to work. You have a 13 years old daughter, right? She has zero sexuality at this moment. She is not determined if she is a male or female. Sexuality comes around the age of 13, 14, 15, 16, respectively, to men and to women. To men a little bit later. However, now if she is 12 and she is listening all these bullshit messages through social media, guess from who? From other people that are the same age. They discuss the same problem, so they say, oh, you know what, it's very cool now to be gay. It's very cool. So now all of a sudden, becoming opposite sex, it's a cool thing. It's a fashion. It's no longer has anything to do with nature. It's just what other kids are doing. And just because they are doing, I don't want to be left alone. So now I'm going to claim myself. I'm not a female, but I'm something else. Call it it. And that's very, very dangerous. Because that kind of...
Our discussion turned into a monologue. I disagree. What they're being taught about tolerance towards other people's decision. Hey, if I decided to like women, being a woman, that's okay. I'm not gonna judge you on this basis. You're gonna get the job. You're gonna go to college when you're not gonna be made fun of. If I decide to change my gender and to become a man in 2 years, that's okay too. I shouldn't be somehow, be vulnerable because of that, because the society, let me finish. It's just the protection of vulnerable people, because guess what? Take all these countries like Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, what they do, they are very homophobic. And guess what? Gay existed all the time, and they will exist, they still exist, doesn't matter what country they come from. And guess what these countries are doing? They are repressing them. They are making fun of them as if they are criminals. Hey guys, go and chase real criminals, people who steal money from the country, people who are killing children and rape women. Chase real criminals. Why in the hell are you chasing and prosecuting simple people like homosexual people? So this is the matter of acceptance, and the main point is to accept and to be tolerant towards these people. It's not about like, hey, it's so cool to be this, or it's so cool to be that. So that's it.
That's what is it becoming. Now there is the law on the side of the vulnerable people. Then there is to be the fashion is on the side of the vulnerable people. And it's too much vulnerable people in America now that are looking for the protection of the law, the social media. That is not right. You know that is not right. Everybody knows that is not right. But they just somehow, oh, we are very vulnerable people. They are chasing me here because I'm gay. Nobody chases you because you are gay here, or nobody is chasing you, or nobody is not tolerant. If there is a tolerance, America is the most tolerant country to all the genders, all the ethnicities, all the religions. So there's no danger. The danger is when this is put in the heads of little kids, that they don't know what gender is. They don't know what sexuality is. They have zero education on sexuality. That's a big problem. I see it as a big problem. Like you cannot teach 12 or 13 years old kid on sexuality because they have no concept. They don't know life experience. A 12 years old girl never met a guy. And that's because they are listening to other of their peers that are talking the same things that they do not understand. So of course, in the head of 12 years old or 11 years old girl, it will be very fashionable to be the opposite sex. Before, she has any life experience. And where this comes? Through the cell phone, through the media. Couple of days ago, I was watching some movie or whatever, was like some documentary, and one of the parents say, my daughter or my son will have a cell phone, like a smartphone, when they get 15 or 16. And that is a good concept, because when you give the smartphone to your kid, you are out of the picture. Believe it or not, you may think whatever you think. You think you have control over the kid? No, you have zero control. In a documentary of Jordan Maxwell, he was explaining this when there was no cell phones, and he was pointing at the fact that your kids are now not educated by the school system. They are not educated by you. They are educated by the TV. This is in the 80s, in the 70s, and in the 60s. So if you want your kid to be educated not by you or not by their teachers, yes, give them the cell phone and you can freely walk out of their life. You have whatever you're talking, you're gonna be talking. I say this with you all the time. You are talking to her and she's like, whatever, you don't know better than me. And that is kind of sad, because what a 12-year-old kid would know about life, rather sexuality or whatever it is. Yeah, you can say something now.
Yeah, for cell phones and other devices, there's such a thing as parental control. So guess what? If you don't want your kid to have access to certain websites and certain information and videos, you can just use this simple option. Even if they're 13, when I was 13, I knew a lot of things too. Even though I didn't have internet and I didn't have phones, it's like it's better to learn it from internet than from your backyard, as we called it. When we were kids, we were physically going out to our backyards, playing with our fellows and friends, and we got this information in a very distorted and perversive and wrong way too. So it's just kids. It has nothing to do with all this information they have today. And it's very good that they have more information than we did, because we blindly trusted teachers. We blindly trusted manuals, books. Now the kids are skeptical because they have more information than our generation had. That's my point.
I don't think they are skeptical. They are vulnerable and they cannot make sound decisions because their brain is not yet capable of making sound decisions. So they take whatever is the most common, the most popular, the most fashionable, and these are other opinions of their peers. Social pressure works on kids more than you think, and at least at my point, maybe I'm too conservative, but it's not good for them to have more information, because all the information that they're listening, remember that it comes with a twist. It's not pure information. It comes with the twist, which is the opinion of someone else, and that most likely someone else is, it's not Jordan Peterson, it's not Noam Chomsky, you know? It's not Noam Chomsky teaching kids about gender, sexuality, politics and stuff. If they was listening to Noam Chomsky, okay, maybe.
No, it's not. I don't believe in monopoly in the world of thought and idea, because this is the worst what can happen to humanity. There should be as many opinions as possible. There shouldn't be any one person teaching kids religion, sexuality and the way they should live. That's why in our schools we were zombified. Hey, listen to the teacher, don't talk, don't jump into the conversation. I told you, you have to reproduce my exact speech next lesson. If you do not, that's very, very bad for you. I don't think it's very good for your intellect.
It is very good for your intellect, trust me on that. But since you don't have, if you are a kid, 11 or 12 or 15, you don't have access to this world knowledge of these luminaries. I'm not saying that you should be listening to Peter Jordanson and only him, but that type of people and that uh, that range of thought. Not like you're listening other kids that are your peers. What they gonna teach you? You know what they're gonna teach you. They're gonna teach you on which corner is the we, where you can get crack, because all that they know. And if you tell your kid, now listen to the punchline. If you tell your kid, hey, why don't you just go and see this movie that I referred this morning? Hey, why don't you go? There is a new movie in Netflix called, what was the name of the movie? The whatever. It's a very cool movie, how the cell phones affects people, And if I tell her, and she will be like, oh, I don't need to know this information. Why? Why she doesn't want to need this information? Because all she will need, or all the kid will need, is the information to have approval by their peers. Again, is the social proof game that comes here. And because these kids, they don't know what is a social proof first. They don't know how to cope. Because all they cope through their cell phone, and they think like, oh, you know what, I'm going to put like my new thumbnail on Instagram and I'm going to be famous tomorrow. Guess what? It's not going to happen, It's a very short-term game. You will never be famous on Instagram just because you make like 20 cool videos and you have the approvals of 20 of your peers, or even 10,000. And that's what is called this inflated self-esteem. Where the inflated self-esteem comes? Again, through the cell phones, through the media, because all these devices and all the social media is designed around you like a bubble to give you this boost of dopamine for you to feel important, and that's not the real life. So in this what you said before, I would tell you it would be 100% more better for a kid to learn from the life, from the backyard that you say, rather than to learn from a social media or from their peers, because they don't know anything, Social media doesn't know anything about your kid. You cannot let the social media educate your kid. It's going to be a devastating results.
Hey, we are not talking about social media. We're talking in general about access to the internet. As for example, my daughter mentioned that, hey, I don't know why I'm in 8th grade, I'm 13, and all we did on our history lessons in school is learning about American history. I really want to know more about French history, French Revolution, Europe, but guess what? American school don't offer us that. So then I got angry and I said, hey, you have all information in the world, just go to the internet and learn it yourself. And she said, yes, that's what I'm doing. So it's not as evil as you think. I'm not speaking about social media.
I'm not thinking she's doing that. Trust me on that.
This is your opinion, we don't know what she's doing.
I see what is she doing. I see where is she. I look at her phone from time to time. I look at when she's on the phone. I'm not seeing her. Hey, history of France. No, come on.
How do you know it? You're not looking at her phone 24/7.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not that bad that kids have access to more information than we did.
Well, if it's the right information, yes. But if it's the wrong information,
who decides that the information is right or wrong? Who decides that this history book has a very objective information? It's usually very subjective. Any history book is very subjective.
Well, the parents should be deciding what their kids should be interested in the very beginning, up to the age of 15. You should guide them. If you don't guide them, if you don't guide them, guess who is guiding them? The TV, the social media, the peer pressure, all the bad influencers. That's why the kids don't understand about anything about Kim Kardashian. That's why they don't understand what is social media. They don't understand. They're just the victims. That's how I see it.
It's a long conversation. Yeah, there are certain downsides of modern technology on all this Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and whatever. To me, it can be good because it's a platform where people can freely exchange their opinions and get access to different sources of information. News, for example. When I was a little girl, in my country, there was just one central television with just one channel, and news were formed by, I don't know, just one organization, and we pretty much didn't have any choice but to listen to this news and form our opinion based on whatever Soviet government organization which decided to, let's say, make news for us. Now there are so many independent sources of news. You can read several sources and form your own opinion. So this is not as bad as it's painted.
Now, here are the sources: Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Reddit, and your email. These are the sources. So instead of one communist government or one democratic US government, you have 4 other governments, and they are not working in your best interest. And if you debate on that, you should know that you yourself, you are just a victim of your cell phone, of your smartphone, and you are competing against algorithms that are way more superior. They know everything about you and you don't know anything about them. And that's the harsh reality. I would say that the proof of that is all these people that came forward in this movie, the CEOs of Pinterest and people and workers in Gmail and designers who designed the social media in a way to suppress you. Actually, they design it against you, and you're a victim of it. The proof of that is your cell phone.